last one in. They are ready. Set now. And off and racing. And a lovely level break as well over the 7 furlongs here for the Tattersalls Acomb Stakes Group 3. Hafner on the outside goes forward early for Ryan Moore. Red jacket Stardom Glory though leading the main group. Hafner close up. Pulling hard is Vega King on the inside there. He's not settled yet. Followed then by the yellow jacket of Gentle Hurricane. Behind them on the inside is Fuel the Jet. Superb is just being restrained in the middle of the field there with Train, who made the running last time out but being ridden more quietly today on the wing on the outside. There follows then Big Cigar on the rail. On the red cap then is Clash of Hearts. Between them is Alfred Wallace, quietly ridden by Kieran Schumacher as the runners come down the home straight past the halfway point here in the Tattersalls Acomb. The field separated by about 6 or 7 lengths maybe. Stardom Glory still out in front. Hafner though just beginning to find his top gear on the outside now, begins to join in. Behind them poised is Gentle Hurricane between horses. Train is coming there with a run. So too Alfred Wallace on the wide outside is making up some ground. Hafner's in front here as they enter the closing stages though. He's beginning to kick in quite impressively. Hafner from on the inside. Gentle Hurricane, Alfred Wallace and Train making no impression here. And Hafner's drawn clear by 2 lengths in the hands of Ryan Moore, and Hafner is going to take the Acomb. Does it nicely. In second place, Gentle Hurricane, Train third, and then came Alfred Wallace clear from Clash of Hearts, who ran well in 5th.
Hafner has given Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien their first winner of this Ebor Festival. It won't be their last. They have got huge runners to come in the shape of Constitution River and the Moore-ridden Derby winner Christmas Day in the next hour. Hafner will be a classic contender next year. He's won the Acomb Stakes, good looking with a display really of stamina as much as travelling ability. Second was Gentle Hurricane, third was Trian, and fourth was Alfred Wallace. It makes sense, the result. The pretenders didn't really deliver much apart from the runner-up, and Hafner delivered plenty. He's a tall, robust, imposing colt by Justify, and he's moving in the right direction.
He's out of a sister to Order of St. George, who of course stayed so well, and that's what this guy has shown today. He's a very attractive physical, but I love what he did under pressure. He was one of the first off the bridle before the 2-pole, Martin, but he really dug in, and the strong travelling Gentle Hurricane has run with credit given his inexperience, but your winner, classy on the day.
Martin?
Yeah, he's all about stamina, isn't he, on this performance, and I think that opens the door for more improvement going forwards. He hasn't done anything quickly, but he's kept working away, finding plenty off the bridle. I don't think it was a deep and strong race necessarily, but the 1, 2, 3, 4 are exactly as they were in the market.
Aidan O'Brien receiving congratulations from Paul Smith, wife Anne-Marie, and David Watchman on the right there. Coolmore team out in force here at York. Kevin Buckley, their UK representative as well.
Big day today.
Big day today. Right, Hafner's received a quote of 16 to 1 from 25 to 1 for the 2,000 guineas from Unibet. Another one for Justify, who seems to be able to get them in all shapes, sizes, distance ranges, anything you want, really.
As you would expect, he's really announced himself as a top-tier sire. Certainly in Europe on the turf, I think he's a horse that when you take them off the bridle, they don't stop. He didn't have an ideal draw in stall 11. He was outside, so Ryan went forward and got across. You noted in the run that Vega King on the front end was very rank, but on the inside, I thought Fuel the Jet was very, very bad, and he actually impeded Sue Herb there on the inside in the Valmont colours as he takes his slot beside Oisin Murphy. But just behind the speed, Ryan Moore had the perfect pitch. Billy Lee, no excuses for Trian. He was tracking the winner all the way. Yeah,
he had every chance, didn't he? He came there travelling fine towards the outside, maybe lasted a little bit longer on the bridle than the winner, but he just wasn't quite good enough. He's run really well in third, up in grade Train, but not quite good enough on the day. And a big run from Gentle Hurricane, who was well fancied in the market. He's seen the distance out really well.
It did look like Alfred Wallace was going to get involved momentarily. He's currently behind Trian at this stage, and he found plenty for pressure, just maybe a bit outclassed in the last furlong. But I love your winner. He doesn't bend the knee. He really, I suppose, when he quickens, he doesn't really quicken. He levels off and really burns them from the front. And I think that was a statement of intent from Ryan from the stalls. He went forward, he wanted to sustain a strong pace, and he hits the line strong. I'm not saying he's the next City of Troy or anything, but I think what we see with these Justifies is the more questions you ask, the more they deliver.
Yeah, he's got a long, raking stride, very
doesn't bend the
fluid
knee,
mover.
really extends himself and pricks his ears at the line, something you love to see.
Yeah. we said beforehand, well, you know, was there a Goan or Chaldean in here? I do think this horse is going to take pretty high order, Martin.
Yeah, I think he's useful. He's better than that, but he's smart. But whether he's that level of what those horses were that went on to win Group 1s, we'll see. Maybe it'll be more next season. I can't knock him at all, and the result makes perfect sense. But he did get beat fair and square at Goodwood at the same time, and that was a better race.
But what I find interesting is, given his physique, given his size, given his pedigree, that Aidan O'Brien has now brought him to Newmarket's July Festival, to Glorious Goodwood and York's Ebor Festival, racking up the air miles, pumping the experience into him. He's obviously got a temperament to die for, just the way he pricked those big ears on the line. That's all going to stand him in really good stead. Surely he'll be one for the Dewhurst.
And knowing Aidan, all of those journeys are thinking about next year and thinking about the autumn. And as you can see from temperament in terms of standing there within the crowd for a 2-year-old to do that is pretty exemplary. And he wasn't tremendously expensive either, considering his pedigree. He was 375,000 yearling when you consider the stallion is a 6-figure stud fee. For a physical that he is, he's a horse that you think can take a lot of hardship.
I wonder, Gentle Hurricane has run a fantastic race. He's been beaten by a good horse, and it's only his second start. I wonder whether Andrew Balding will be thinking stay at 7 or come back to 6. I think he's shown plenty of speed today.
That's his first real race.
Yeah.
Winning a 5-runner maiden in Salisbury can't teach you an awful lot.
I think they'll probably be inclined to stay where they are, distance-wise. Going into he's seen it out well, hasn't he? He's sort of not quickened immediately, travelled fine, didn't quicken immediately, and kept on well for second place. But it's just a result that makes perfect sense. I don't see any hard luck stories in amongst behind. I think the best horses have come to the fore. Winner has won authoritatively. The potential improvers haven't improved enough to get to the standard that he set. Has he really needed to improve again on what he did at Goodwood? I'm not sure. But he's a likeable horse.
And he was well backed as well. The time was 1:25.96. The time of the Acomb Stakes, 1:25.96. Again, suggesting the ground just the easy side of good.
Hafner has just won the Acomb, actually quite impressively in the end for Aidan O'Brien. He was an impressive winner ultimately.
Yeah, no, delighted, Lydia. Obviously, he's in Peter and Stephanie's colours. Delighted for John and Sue and Derek and Gay and Michael and Dorian. So a lovely horse. He ran a lovely race in Goodwood. Ryan thought he was a little bit babyish, a little bit green, that he would improve. He's a very good mover, so probably we thought the ground, the quicker the better for him, but Ryan said he had no problem. He handled it well. He thought it was good to soft, a little bit more soft and good. No, delighted. He's a lovely horse, and every week goes by he will get better. He's a typical Justify. When they get to the front, they very rarely very rarely relent when they get to the front, you know. So no, delighted really.
It does seem to be a characteristic. The more questions he's been asked, the more he's been able to answer.
Yeah, and like I said, he is a typical Justify. Big long stride, and the stride doesn't shorten, and that's the way he is. Ryan said he was a little bit slow away, but he gave him a chance. And then when he asked him, he said he really quickened. He said he got there a little bit earlier than he wanted, but obviously he kept going well.
Whilst he was babyish last time round, told you, he must have a great constitution. You've taken him to the July Festival, to Goodwood, to York. That's going to stand him in good stead for the future.
I think so. It'll be great for him for next year. He's a very sound horse, and we always think those horses that have to fight battles at 2, it stands them in great stead as 3-year-olds. It makes them tough and hard. And obviously, to win classics, they have to be they have to be tough, and they have to know what they're doing, and they have to be used to being in competitive races, you know. So no, everything is great with him really.
And in your mind's eye, what's the plan for him for the rest of this season?
Yeah, he will stay. This horse will have no problem getting 7 or a mile. Like, he'll have no problem going to a Breeders' Cup mile. He'll have no problem being a racing post trophy horse. Could be like, he'll have no problem in Ashes Stakes Dew horse, because he gets up there, he cruises and keeps going. So and he will get a mile next year, and could even get a mile and a quarter. So he's a lot of roads that he can go really.
So is he in the mix depending on how his stablemates sort of pan out?
I think so. Like, obviously we have the trials in Ireland on Saturday. For then we'll have the National Stakes, and then obviously we have the Migler coming, and obviously then we have the Dewhurst and all those races. But he's right in the mix, and always was. From the first day he ran, he looked very classy, and and like I said, he runs in Peter and Stephanie's colours, which is great. No, delighted for everybody really.
Looking ahead to the Great Voltigeur, which is our next race, it's a bit like the derby we never had. Jay Mangan was describing it as earlier. Do you think the penalty puts the advantage towards Pierre Bonnard?
I think so. Like, obviously, it's £5 is £5. pounds, and but he is Christmas is he doesn't he's great resolve. He has went the right way. He's heavier than he was for the Derby, so that means he has progressed, and we were using this as a stepping stone into the Ledger for him. But he's well ready, will improve, and he's not a horse that will shrink any challenge, really, I think.
Okay, well, very best of luck there, and many congratulations here, Aidan.
Thanks, Lydia, appreciate it. Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.